YG. For
400.
real, for real. Man, I put this on at the gym and I started running to it. And I don't think I stopped or felt tired after listening to it. It was just that invigorating. But so YG dropped an album last year, Stay Dangerous, and
Yep.
from
Same
what I
day as
recall,
Astro World and Mac Miller's album, big day.
and from what I recall, we were like, man, this is just disappointing. Like
Yeah,
it felt very just vanilla for YG. I think was a lot of the take, very generic.
exactly. And it was disappointing because it was following up Still Brazy, which was this awesome Kali G Funk throwback, political leanings. We're talking about race, a lot of awesome stuff on there, and which was really refreshing and surprising because we hadn't heard that from YG before. And then to hear him just fall back into generic, mainstream, low bar, contemporary rap last August, it's like, fuck, man. Like, did we just miss this window? Like, is it over? Is YG just going to phone it in? And then he bounces back really quick with For Real, which even though it sold less first week than Say Dangerous, he got all the critics back on board. And I feel like he got all his real fans back, which is exciting because I've always believed in him as an artist.
Yeah, and I think what I like most is this feels like a return to Stay Breezy in a lot of ways. Stay Brazy, sorry. And he really just dives back into that like West Coast sound so much on this, and he keeps it pretty simple. Like I don't think there's many beats on here that I find very like complex or like
That's mustard,
super
man.
like yeah, but he kills it. And the thing is, I think that sparseness actually allows YG's voice and his message, which I mean, I think that's the one knock is he's kind of a like a 3-note type of guy in terms of message. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I think he actually just sounds so clear, so confident, and just awesome on this whole thing. And each track is different in a way, but it all seems to flow together well. Really enjoyed For Real, For Real. Any other thoughts on it for you before we start talking about the tracks we liked?
No, it's just really exciting to have someone who we really did hold up just 2 years ago, 3 years, 2.5 years ago as a really exciting guy to watch. Like I think YG is in his was he 30 now? He's 29. So it's like he's been around a long time, but to see him come so far from Tuda and Buddha, his first big hit, and then again, like that crest, like I was incredible. That was honestly one of the most disappointing albums I heard last year, Say Dangerous, just because I was such a big fan and saw all the talent that he and all the great songs he'd already made. So it's just really satisfying that even if this is not going to be the biggest YG album and it won't be the best YG album, the fact that he got himself back to this point is just really really heartwarming, to be honest, and especially considering it's coming under the shadow of the passing of Nipsey Hussle, who was a really close mentor and friend of YG, and of course they feature together on FDT. But to hear him so inspired so soon after the passing of his friend is also really great to hear.
Yeah, and he talks about that on the album actually, in one of the later tracks. To go to like the 1-note or like the 3-note thing, I do feel like he talks a lot about haters, about snitches, and about I don't know,
bitches.
Yeah, bitches. I guess broke dudes too. He seems to have his own lane with this stuff.
It's like a Venn diagram.
Say,
he just like circles. He puts you on if you qualify as more than one of those things.
Right. Which I don't hate so much. He kind of reminds me in a lot of ways, and we talked about this off air about Pusha T. He seems like the West Coast Pusha T in a lot of ways. You know, Pusha has like that one lane. He's like a drug dealer. He's going to talk about cocaine dealing, and I don't mind hearing Pusha T talk about that. He owns it. I think YG has a lane that he owns. The one exception to what I'm saying is Keisha. I thought was a song that got a little bit out of that 3-note, so to speak. So
Keisha killed a baby, or whatever.
Keisha had a baby. Keisha had a baby. So I think he has potential to drive out there. That was actually a really nice soulful piano song for YG. So what song stood out to you on this?
It's funny. So when I first heard Stop Snitching, the lead single, I was like, this is all right, but like the repetitiveness of the hook turned me off at first. Once I heard it on the album, and once you really back into this vibe, and then especially at the end when you hear the remix with the baby, it's like, oh yeah, this song actually fucking rules.
Yeah.
And once you realize it's also like a pointed explicit 6ix9ine diss and makes it even better. But I mean, it starts off really hot right away with Hard Bottoms and White Sox, Bottle Service, and In the Dark. And then you get
Yep.
up to the second single, Go Loco, which has a really fun, obviously, like mariachi style. With actually, I think Tyga rides the beat really well as a feature. And yeah, I think you just kind of off to the races at that point. But those first three tracks, Bottle Service, In the Dark, Hard Bottoms, White Sox, those feel like the classic YG that we were holding up just a few years ago. So like it just gets you back really quick.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed how funky Do You Dance is. It's just like
Yep.
a fun
Mhm.
song. And also I was on the block. I thought it was a really, really great track. I really enjoyed that one. I think one of the better songs off the back half of the album. So
Yep.
overall, really can't recommend For Real enough.